Good morning, it is day 6 of our Norwegian Jade cruise.
In today's video, we arrive in Saint John, New Brunswick. We start with an excursion called Trolley Round Saint John, which takes us to the Reversing Falls before being dropped off at the historic city market. We make our way back to the port on foot and find the perfect waterfront spot to snap some photos of our cruise ship. In the afternoon, we head out for another stroll around the port and the city, taking in the sights and watching the incredible tide changes that make our ship rise in the water throughout the day.
Let's go and get this day started.
I have now made my way up to the buffet on deck 12 to meet up with my husband for breakfast. I'm having mostly fruit, boiled eggs, cottage cheese, and granola. From the looks of it, I'm going to need to change the location of where I videotape sailing into port. The upper decks are out of the question due to this rain. I'm now going to be videotaping the sailing into port from down here on deck 7. This covered promenade deck is a great place to get our first glimpse of the port of Saint John. Now to switch over to time-lapse.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Looks like they're having problems getting us over. Backed out a couple times. They are docking here at this pier, and it looks like we're going to have 2 gangways again. Okay, I need to get off here and get back up to the room because we need to be at the Stardust Theater for 10 o'clock meetup for our excursion. And we're off to the Stardust Theater. Whoops, I had forgotten to put do not disturb, but I guess it says welcome. So do you want to turn that TV off? Okay. Oh. We're off to the Stardust Theater. It is our meetup point for our excursion. You know what, I'm going to go down here this way and walk forward. I want to see which gangways they have open. Good morning. There's St. John. Looks like deck 6 forward.
Low tide and then it go up.
Oh yeah, they said this is very much affected by the tidal base. Okay, back inside here on deck 7. I'm gonna go meet up in the auditorium like they told us, and they'll probably tell us what to do. We are in the Stardust Theater, and they are going to disembark the ship on deck 6 forward. And so we decided, even though we entered the Stardust Theater from deck 7, we came here to deck 6, so it's an easy out the doors to the port. It is more crowded in the theater today than it was Charlottetown. So it seems like there's probably more excursions for this port than there. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in here and be a rule follower and be in my position for the 10 o'clock meetup.
All right, 0711 Trolley Round Saint John tour. All right.
Our tour number has just been called, and we are now making our way out the theater from the port side theater doors. We did try going out the starboard side doors, but they would not let us. So we have to come out here on the port side and then cross over the front stairwell to the starboard side.
Morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Have a good day.
Thank
Watch
you.
your step, watch your head, please.
Okay, it's raining out here, but we're getting ready to enter the port building.
Breathtaking view of the Bucket.
Easy Saint John.
trolley. Is this a trolley?
The trolley down there, out the door to the right.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. As we're making our way through this terminal building towards our tour buses, we notice tour vendors are offering hop-on, hop-off bus tours, as well as a trolley tour like the one we're doing today. We got a $49 discount on this tour through the ship, which brought the price down to about what it would have cost us if we were to purchase it here directly from the vendor. So, depending on what deals you can get through the cruise line, you might be better off just purchasing it here directly. That's especially true for the hop-on, hop-off buses because really you're on your own and at your leisure once you get on those buses. So there's the benefit of making sure you're back to the ship in time and it won't leave you. It doesn't necessarily apply for those at leisure type excursions. So I think in the future, if I were to come here, I would probably just purchase it in port when I get here. Okay, we found our bus.
Morning. Good, you?
Before we get started, my name is Steve. I'll be your tour guide for this morning. Our driver today is David. As the trolley moves, I'll just ask you to remain seated. And when we come up towards the end of the tour, we're going to head up to the Saint John City Market. That will be our last stop. And at that point, you can either come back to the terminal with us, or if you choose to, you can stay at the city market and enjoy the market itself.
As our driver eases the trolley through the narrow streets of Saint John, our tour guide, a true local storyteller, fills the air with history and fun facts. We hear about how this port boasts the highest tides in the world, how the city was founded, and even how it got its name.
We're looking out David's side on the driver's side. Unfortunately, through the rainy windows, you can see the Saint John Harbor. And you can see up past the container cranes, you can see Partridge Island. And you can see, if you notice along the edges of the harbor, you'll see a black kind of water line that's along there. That's how high the tide will go up before the day is out. And we can actually have 3 cruise ships in this harbor. The third one would be over here by the little white tent, the blue awnings.
The guide points out beautiful old architecture, recounts the devastation of the Great Fire of 1877, and shares little nuggets about the people who shaped this place. But what is really interesting is how he explains the reversing falls and what happens when the mighty Saint John River meets the Bay of Fundy, and the tides literally reverse the river's flow. Then comes the highlight of this whole tour. We do get to stop, but it's only for 15 minutes. The site of the reversing falls. This is where the Saint John River meets the Bay of Fundy. At high tide, the bay pushes the river backward, forcing the rapids to flow upstream. But right now, it's low tide, so the river is charging toward the bay. Now, at this time of low tide, the water rushes past us, swirling and foaming as it makes its way out to sea. I could watch this for hours, but the trolley is waiting, so it's time to head back and carry this view in my memory, wishing I could be here at high tide, but it's not going to be possible on this trip. I consult a map of the Port of Saint John on Google Maps and notice that the reversing falls is located here. This is where we observe the Saint John River heading out to the bay. The cruise ship is docked here. And we are now heading back to our final stop on this trolley tour, the Saint John's City Market. Now, we could go back to the port on the trolley, but we opt to disembark and check out the city market. I remember this. Yeah. Do you remember it?
This and probably a bunch of others that look like it.
As we leave the city market, I am going to give a quick review of that trolley tour. The guide was very, very informative, knew his stuff. I think the tour itself was kind of short. I would have liked to have had a little more details and a little more stops. So, although it was a good price and we got really what we paid for, I would say probably a hop-on, hop-off tour like we did yesterday in Halifax would have been a better choice for an excursion. I really wanted to stop up at the fort to get a picture of the bay with the ships, or actually the port with the ships. Get my mind right. Just a second. Okay. I would really like to stop up there. We couldn't get any good shots, and so now I'm left with feeling the need to find a place to get a good picture of the ship from the bay. We'll see about that later. Well, I think we're gonna hit a few more buildings here in Saint John, and then before heading back to the ship. Looks like we walked into a mall. I do remember when we were here 5 years ago being in this mall. So it's all coming back now. I'd forgotten that we'd come to Saint John. I honestly thought that that was one port that we hadn't visited yet, but nope, we were here. We just had not seen the reversing fold last time. What did they call these? The pedwalk? In Minneapolis, we called them the Skyway system. Oh, this is cool. There is our ship. It's supposed to eventually go all the way down. But here in Canada, they call them headway. Huh. Looks like... Let's see where this leads us. Up. Aquatic Center. Canada Games Aquatic Center. Huh. Okay, so oops. Boy, that's loud. Okay. So we're gonna head straight down this street down towards the water, and we're gonna see if we can find a place to go out and look back and see if we can see the ship. Saint John waterfront. You are here. So let's just look over here for a second. I'm gonna go out to that point right there. See if we can get some good shots of her from this side. Because so far on this trip we haven't been able to. Awesome. Yep, there she is.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait.
Cruise passengers only beyond this point. That be us.
We didn't come out this. We went out the other side.
Yeah, we went out the other side.
Let's see this.
Yep. Okay, now this makes sense. So, here is what the container village. Shops, souvenirs. Nut and fudge shop. Okay. We have to come out here later. Okay. Now we are heading back to the ship, and I don't think they're going to allow me to have my phone on, so I'm going to turn that off right now. Okay, look, the ship is rising. Remember this morning it was an uphill. Oh wow.
Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Okay, we just dropped off our stuff and we're going to go ahead and go up to deck 12 and go to the buffet. The nice thing about being on deck 10 in the location we are 2 floors from the buffet and 2 floors from Oceans, so it really doesn't matter which way we go.
Nice. Buffet's not too crowded. That was a pretty good lunch in the buffet. Of course, salad and some vermicelli, then a flatbread. Oh, that was really good. The desserts on this ship have been very underwhelming. The 2 I had, one was a coconut custard type thing and it had no sugar in it. And then the other one was a mango mousse. And that wasn't too bad and not overly sweet. But they just have not had a lot of good desserts on this cruise. But we don't need them anyway. With lunch complete, we head up to deck 13 to grab some pictures and video of the port and then head back to the gangway to get off the ship. A brief look at the position of the ship in the water, showing the tide is still on the rise. And then we enter the port building once again. And if you wanted to go down the escalator, you can. We're going to do the stairs. You're walking off the ship, doing your own thing. This is where you would go. Out these doors. Now it's time to check out the container village, which we find is just a lot of souvenir shops and food vendors, like beaver tails. But that line is way too long. Since we're not in the market for anything, we're just going to exit the container village and head toward Hardin Alley.
Right there.
Yep, here it is. Hardin Alley. We're gonna go up to Prince William Street. Okay, this is the Prince William Street he was talking about with all the shops. Okay. Our tour guide mentioned this morning that they will give you a hefty amount of beer and then they give you an axe to throw. Don't know how those two things go well together, but okay. There she is again. We're going to come down here to the end of this walkway and we're going to swing back around and head back to the ship because it's starting to rain. There's the lantern, the three sisters. We came down the street, but if you up at the lanterns, if you kept going straight, you would come down this way. We are now heading back to the ship. We're going to stop in Container Village before getting back on the ship. Okay, we were going to get one of the beaver tails, but that line was very long and there was only one gal working at that booth and the line wasn't moving at all after 5 minutes, so we decided it wasn't probably something that was worth waiting that long period of time for. Next time we come to Canada, we just might have to find a place to have those and to try them. So we're going to head back to the ship now because we really do not have any desire to be soaking wet in this rain. So we're going to head back now.
Now we're back on the ship. We wanted a place to sit and relax, and my first thought was this area right outside the buffet on midship deck 12. And I thought, as we were coming here, I thought, no way, it's not going to be available. Somebody's going to be there. But we got here, and lo and behold, nobody's here. So I am just going to sit here in this chair, drink my cup of coffee, and get some work done.
That was such an enjoyable couple hours sitting in our little alcove all by ourselves. We're heading back to the room right now, drop off the computer, and then we're gonna go downstairs because it is high tide in 2 minutes. Okay, I am gonna go out onto the decks. It is straight out onto deck 6. I'm going to walk all the way down here to the front starboard side. Okay, this is where I videotaped our arrival this morning into port. Yeah, I think we're pretty high here compared to what we were this morning. I'm going to head up to deck 13 aft so that I can get set up and ready to catch sail away. I captured a great sail away out of Saint John, Brunswick. Hope you enjoy seeing that. Here it is. Now I am heading downstairs to deck 7. Tim is in the atrium or the Bliss Lounge listening to music. He told me being one of them. So I'm gonna go get him. We're gonna get to dinner, and then we hope to make the 9 o'clock show. It's the Elements production, and it's pretty good, I've heard, and it sounds like that's when all the staff will come in and say their goodbyes to us too, even though we've got one more day. So let me go try to find Tim, and then we will go to dinner. Oh, that sunrise. gotta show this to you. Sorry, I mean sunset. There it is, but just ducked behind. Okay, I'm heading to find him now. My sweet patient husband, I know he has probably about had it with me, but I see something and I want to show you, and I do it. Okay, now we're heading back to the Grand Pacific dining room for dinner. Thank you. From tonight's menu, I'm having cream of asparagus soup and brie salad for appetizers. For our entrees, my husband has the turkey medallions, and I have the chicken and seafood paella. Dessert is the Snickers pound cake. After that delicious meal, we head to the Tradewinds shops for the evening raffle.
Here we have ticket number 7.
Well, obviously, our ticket was not the winning number, but we are going to head back to the room, drop off the jacket, and then we're going to do some walking around the ship, and then go to get in line for the theater. Day 6 is coming to an end. Though rainy and cool, it was a rather nice port day. St. John's Port is unique with its claim to being the port with the highest tide. This evening we had a late dinner and then walked the halls for a bit before heading to the theater for the show called Elements. This production featured all the performers this week and was also the farewell show from the crew staff. It was by far the better of the 2 stage productions we saw this week. Tomorrow is our last day on the ship, and unlike most cruises we are on, it is another port day as opposed to a sea day. Well, it's off to bed for me. Glad we are setting our clocks back an hour tonight. I need the extra sleep. Until next time, God bless and safe cruising.